There are four riders whose shadows stretch across time, symbols of war, famine, conquest, and death. But among them, one stands apart. He rides a pale horse, and his name is whispered with fear across ages. And I looked, and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. Revelation 6:8. But what if this rider is more than just death? What if his true identity hides a secret that reveals the final phase of human history, the unveiling of the world's last deception? This is the story of the fourth horseman's true identity and what it means for the end of days. In the vision given to John on the island of Patmos, heaven falls silent as the Lamb, Jesus, opens the fourth seal. Thunder rolls across eternity, and from the shadows emerges the final rider, a man cloaked in ash-gray robes, mounted on a pale horse. The Greek word for pale is chloros, meaning sickly green, decaying flesh. It is the color of death itself, but this horseman doesn't ride alone. John writes, "Hell followed with him. A dark host trails behind him, legions of souls perhaps, or the embodiment of the grave. The fourth horseman is more than death. He is the gateway between life and eternity. And power was given unto them over a fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, hunger, and death, and with the beasts of the earth." This is not random destruction. It is measured judgment. Each horseman brings a layer of chaos, conquest, war, famine, and now death claims the remnants. But notice the phrase, over a fourth part of the earth. This means a global reach. It symbolizes pandemics, mass death, and spiritual decay spreading over nations. But it's not just physical death, it's spiritual death, the withering of truth, morality, and hope. The fourth horseman rides wherever people abandon the light of God. And when he comes, hell rides with him to claim what's lost. Every horseman represents a spirit or force unleashed upon the world. The first, a false peace. The second, war and division. The third, greed and famine. But the fourth represents spiritual death, the ultimate decay of the soul. The prophet Hosea wrote, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." That is the fourth horseman's whisper, a slow death, not of the body, but of the spirit. In this sense, the rider is not merely a figure of the apocalypse. He is already among us. He rides through societies that worship materialism. He moves in nations that have turned their back on truth. He rides across the hearts of those who have grown cold to love, mercy, and faith. Through history, this pale rider has appeared in many forms, in the plagues that swept the Middle Ages, in wars that devoured nations, in ideologies that killed the soul long before the body. When famine strikes, when despair spreads, when moral darkness thickens, the pale horse is there. But prophecy says his full revelation is yet to come. Revelation 6 tells us the horsemen are released one by one, and the pale horse rides last. That means his arrival marks the climax, the moment before the Great Tribulation deepens into global judgment. He is not just the end. He is the sign that the end has arrived. So who is the fourth horseman truly? Some theologians say he represents death personified, a divine being under God's command, gathering the souls of the dead. Others believe he symbolizes the Antichrist's reign, the final expression of evil that kills both flesh and spirit. But one deeper interpretation sees him as the spirit of deception, a culmination of all the others. Conquest, war, famine, they weaken nations. Then comes deception, a death that spreads from within. This horseman is not just death by sword or disease. He is death by lies, sin, and rebellion. He is the unseen hand that leads humanity away from truth. A slow, silent rider that makes the world forget the Creator. That's why hell follows him, because every heart that rejects the truth becomes his domain. One day, the fourth horseman's ride will end when Christ returns as the King of Kings. Revelation 19 says, "The heavens will open, and the armies of heaven will ride out behind the true rider on the white horse, the one who conquers death itself. When that moment comes, death will finally be destroyed." Revelation 20:14 says, "And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. The pale rider will fall, his power will end, and the light of eternal life will reign where death once rode." Until that day, the fourth horseman still moves quietly through our world, unseen but not absent. He waits for the final trumpet, for the final seal, and for the end of his long and terrible ride.